Okay, so now in order to complete our automatic material, we need to create some masks that we can use when we create our terrain in Gaea. We can export some masks that we can use in our landscapes to texture it faster. Now, this will be a base for us. Like I showed before, you can paint in the landscape and do the details you want, but this will help to have a base. So here in Gaea, I have a tab that is called Data. And the data will grab a bunch of masks that I can use in order to texture my landscape. So for example, I can grab the flow data and I can just put it here. Okay. Now, you notice that my landscape became flat, and the reason is I'm previewing this that is a 2D mask. So what I need to do is to come here and then right click and then ping as underlay, or you can also press the G button. So now when I go to my flow, you will see that I can see on 3D how my mask looks like. Now you can change a bunch of properties here. For me, this looks pretty fine actually. You can add more details like this, for example. But to me, I find that this one looks very good. Let's try it with this too. Otherwise, we will just leave it with the version one. Okay, let's just leave it like this. Usually, the flow is where will the water will come down. Also, this one looks like a nice map to have. So you have a bunch of options here, and personally, I have some of my favorites I will show you. This one is the angle one. So the angle will just drop like just grab any particular angle. So for example, I can put like 45 degrees here, and I can change the minimum here like maybe 15 and the maximum to maybe 24, 22, something like that, to have more contrast, something like that. Okay, and the fall off I can leave like that. Okay, this can serve as a nice texture base if I wanted to have one. So another one I have is my height. So the height one, I can either type height here or can from here. Go height, and you will grab this. It will grab a mask that is based on the height of our mesh. So in order to see this better, I can just put like minimum 10. Okay, this is okay, 43, and just remove the fall off like 1. So this will give me like a mask that I can use. So you can see here that I have my height, and if I want lower values, I can just grab the height again, and instead I will put the minimum to 0 and the maximum to 10, and then I will connect this. So this way I can cover my entire landscape. So what I can do here, if I check my 2 masks, one ends up here and the other one ends up really far. So what I can do is either change the fall off to something like 2, something like that maybe. Okay, so the next thing I can do is maybe combine. For example, I want to combine this angle with this height here. So what I can do is tap and type combine, and once I combine, I can just grab the angle and then grab the height, and I can just change the blending mode maybe to multiply, and I can just put the ratio to 100, so I can take a look at how it will look like. So this is how my texture will look like if I just put it like that. Okay, I can do the same here. So I can just combine. I can do another mask for my bottom part. So let's put the angle here and let's put our height. Will be that one. Now I can just put multiply and then 100 here. And now what I have is this mask. Then I have this mask and I have this mask. Okay, perfect. Now what I want to do is combine them. So I will type here the RGB mix. Okay, so the RGB mix will create a RGB texture, red, green, and blue, and I will plug them into the right, the right channels. So let's say for this one, we already have our automatic slope mask. So we're gonna texture this. We're gonna use this to texture different materials we can put in the ground. This can be very helpful. So let's put this one here in the red channel. And then I will put my height in the blue channel. And then I will put my my height in the green and then my flow in the blue. And you will see that I have something like this. Okay. So now you think, what do I do with the black ones? So the black ones is the automatic material we just created in Unreal. So if we want to export this, we can just go to build, and here I can just right click and mark for export, and I can export this, for example, as a PNG 8. Okay, and this is the resample, and I can start the build. I already have it catch, so I will just click yes. And with that, I will have my texture here. Wait a little bit. Okay, so now we have our texture here and our height map. And now that we have Gaea here, we can create like a master Gaea file that we can use. So if we want to create another terrain, we can use the automatic material here. Great. Now we just need to go to Unreal.